This is very upsetting to me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
Somewhere between science and superstition.
We have such sights to show you.
Strange Eons.
Welcome to Strange Eons Radio. That is Eric over there.
Hello.
That is Vanessa over there.
Hello.
And I am Kelly. You guys, so lovely to see you after everything that has been going on.
It's been so long.
Yes, so I'm going to give just a very quick State of the Union.
Oh, God.
Is that pointing up?
Yeah, you've got yourself pointing.
Well, what if I do this? That better?
Great. Do I just start over again?
Well, let's just keep going. We don't edit anymore, is what I've heard.
Poor Eric.
So, yeah, so I'm just getting over the plague, and you might hear a couple of coughs in here. We're going completely wireless, as you can see, which I love.
It's so weird. I have to see your guys' faces.
Yeah.
I'm not like restricted by a certain amount of inches, what direction I can move. This is very upsetting to me.
And I wanted to not push this off any longer and force you guys to have to listen to Eric not know the name of his own podcast again.
Yes, please save us from ourselves.
What the hell? So you guys, my dad passed away a couple weeks ago. And we knew it was coming. It was, 6 months before it happened that he was already in the hospital, and he just kept hanging on and everything. So a lot of relief, a lot of sadness and depression anyway. So I am not sure exactly how that means for our schedule, because I'm still trying to figure out what my family is going to require and what personally I'm going to require. It could be just copious amounts of alcohol.
Noted.
Talking more about films.
Yeah. I'm writing this new story that Nick Gucker is illustrating, and I got to this halfway point, and it's kind of whimsical and dark and all this stuff, and then I get to this halfway point where my hero loses his father figure, and I started writing this stuff, and I was like, this is clearly how I feel, not how he would feel, so it's going to affect probably a lot of things, as you know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and of
sure
course,
does.
we're willing to roll with it. I know that our listeners are going to be very willing to move around what makes sense for you.
I wanted to reach out and say thank you to a couple of people who reached out to me during all of this. Will Lau, Ron, Danny, a lot of people who just were there to say, hey, man, you doing okay? And I was like, absolutely not.
That's what we like to hear.
Yeah. Well, it did not help that I got this monstrous cold like 2 days after my dad passed. And I felt like kind of it was my body going, all right, so we've been working hard this whole time, and now you're going to catch everything that you were supposed to catch over the last several months. So, and you guys, this was the worst cold I have ever had in my life. My head hurt so much that every time I coughed, it would just be this explosion in my head. And at one day I coughed so hard and so long that I pulled a muscle in my neck.
Oh
so
my
I'm
God.
still getting over that. My nose has been a just 24-hour-a-day snot factory, and I was like, wow, I don't know what this is, but I thought about taking a COVID test, and then I was like, this is so much worse than any of the times I had COVID. This is clearly not COVID.
Yeah. And I feel like with COVID, it's such a specific set
I don't
of
think you're
things.
supposed to get the snot and all
I don't
that
think it's the
stuff.
snot. I think it's much more just like coughing that you just can't stop.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I was there. But I seem to be over the hump now.
Excellent. Well enough to sit here with us and
Yes.
talk about movies.
Now,
and-
you guys might hear, unfortunately, our microphones are right here now. I can't turn to cough, and I still have a bit of a dry cough. So we'll see how this all goes. I wish we had a little cough button.
Yeah, just to mute yourself.
Yeah, remember one of those little things when we were doing the radio stuff?
Yep.
Okay,
I know. Normally, I twist my head away to make various sounds.
maybe I'll do
and
something
now-
like this.
Yeah,
wait.
there you go. We definitely won't hear a thump
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
your hand moves over the mic.
Well, okay. All right. As you guys may have guessed, I have seen a shitload of stuff.
I was gonna say either you've seen everything or literally nothing.
Mostly what I like to do when I'm sick is kind of go back to my comfort food. So, but I have seen some new stuff here, and let's see, what am I going to talk about? I think I'm going to talk about two films at once right now. Okay. One of them is called Primate, which is about a pet monkey that goes insane with rabies and attacks its owners. And the other one is called Killer Whale, which is about a killer whale in a SeaWorld type environment that they let go, and it gets caught in a rocky area and starts killing people in it.
Ooh,
so it's
double bill.
Two animal attack movies, both of them not very good.
Too bad.
Primate is the better of the two because chimpanzees are fucking terrifying, and the people who live with them, I feel like, boy, you are rolling the dice
It's
every
a ticking
day.
time bomb for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, because when the chimps decide they've had enough, the way that they attack anything but a human in this case is to tear its jaw off and then to tear its genitals out. Oh. That is real life what a chimp will do first thing, because they don't want you to be able to attack them, and they also want to incapacitate you. So there is a little of this in the Primate movie.
All right.
Yeah. And so there's some stress and some scares in it. It's a Blumhouse movie.
This is that brand new one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It seemed to hit hard and fade pretty quickly. So.
Well, I don't know. I didn't even look at the reviews or anything, but I see nobody's talking about it. Less people are talking about Killer Whale, probably because they're like, how can you turn these majestic creatures into something evil? And admittedly, the filmmakers do not do a good job of it. Mostly because I can't figure out. I'm like 3/4 through the movie before I was like, is this the same killer whale that was in captivity? They never showed it getting out or the people releasing it or anything. Am I to believe? Because all of a sudden you see this killer whale and his fin is tipped over like they are in captivity. And I'm like, oh, I think this is the same killer whale. How did it get from SeaWorld to this rocky enclosure?
They forgot the plot.
Or
forgot to write
Listen, I could have dozed. Any number of things could have happened, but it took me a while.
And they have such a easy kind of a certain crowd-pleasing storyline going on in the real world with the killer whales out there taking out yachts and stuff. Why not play off of that?
I think that this was probably made because people are starting to get a little worried. They're starting to realize that these things, you probably shouldn't be that comfortable next to them in the water.
Yeah.
Just because they haven't attacked
they're giant,
humans.
wild animals.
They're gigantic, yeah. And we're starting to see the footage now, the drone footage of that one killer whale attacking the great white. Okay. And you see how fucking quick it is and everything. And you're like, oh, this is a bad motherfucker.
Yeah, somebody saw something when they named this creature.
Did you know that the name killer whale actually started off as whale killers? Because killer whales are in fact dolphins, not whales at all.
There you go.
Oh.
Did you know that?
No.
Yeah.
Huh. Wait, orcas are in the dolphin family?
Yep.
I did not know this.
Yeah. So the real phrase was whale killers, because they do attack sperm whales and stuff like that.
Oh.
And that turned into killer whales over.
I just thought people were stupid and they're like, it's black and white, danger. I don't know.
Wait a second, what does black and white mean, danger?
I don't know.
That's red.
Back in the day before we, had established that.
That's right. Back in the old days, before there was color.
Before there was color, yes. Everything was black and
You're
white.
at the sea, and you're like, huh, that's a different looking thing. It's scary looking.
So Primate, I'll give a soft recommend to, and Killer Whale I will give a recommend to, and that recommend is don't watch. Okay. So.
Oh man, truly excellent. Well, speaking of soft or non-recommendations, I would go with, I saw Marty Supreme, which I know I was just talking to you guys about right before we started recording. it's definitely an incredible film. I think Chalamet, whatever awards he gets, he will deserve out of this. It really does show he has an incredible range, as if we didn't already know that. There's a really interesting story in there, but there's like a lot of story, and I'm not entirely sure what the purpose of it is sometimes. It feels like you're in a freight train because it's by the same guys who did Uncut Gems and Good Times. And you're in a freight train moving forward, but why you're moving forward in the way that you are is very difficult. And on top of it, he's like a narcissistic character. So having sympathy for him, especially by the time you get to the end, it feels almost unearned to an extent. It is a good movie, but if you stop to think about it and, why did we do this? What is the purpose of that? Like, why are we watching this film at all? It's a little bit rough around the edges.
I didn't realize it was Timothy Chalamet.
Oh, yeah.
That'll stop me from watching it right there.
Oh, then you're going to hate it.
I just do not like this kid.
Yeah. No, he's
Looks weird.
the lead, and he's having sex with people, so you have to watch him, more of him than normal.
No.
So
Variety
he's not
of
just
people.
longingly looking towards Zendaya. We get a lot of butt, and we got a lot of all kinds of stuff. And it's insane blonde lady who married Coldplay.
The whole band?
Gwyneth.
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always get a little weirded out when I see her and stuff, because even though I like certain things she's in, like
You just think of Goop and go,
yeah.
Really?
I think
These
how
products?
insane she is currently.
Yeah. I think of every actor going, I can smell your egg. Can we?
Oh.
oh, juicy.
Baby.
And my breakfast is making its way forward.
Did you have eggs?
Oh, boy.
Okay, so I'm going off different realm. One of the Crypticon Seattle guests this year is a local author named Matt Dinneman, who is known for Dungencrawler Carl,
Yeah, even I've heard of this book.
which is man, you walk into a Barnes & Noble anymore, the new ones that are propping up again, he has a table.
Wow, that's
and
cool.
it's all his stuff. And I can tell you, the books are an absolute blast. I'm into the 5th one. I think he's got 7 with an 8th one coming out soon. And it's kind of called lit RPG, literature RPG, because it's very much like the Earth gets destroyed. I won't go into too many details because it's detailed. And everybody that survives the initial destruction becomes a part of this giant universe-wide TV show where they're watched. And this particular iteration of the TV show is kind of Dungeons and Dragons. Like, you're going through dungeons and you got spells and you're certain kinds of characters. And it's Carl and his cat, who is Donut, Princess Donut, who talks and is the spellcaster and has charisma out the wang because she's adorable and all that. And man, it is just a hoot. It's one of those books it's written well. It has weird holes sometimes, weird moments, but everything goes so fast. Like even I was not too big of a fan of the concept for the 3rd book, which was everything was running on trains. And the way it's set up was, okay, cool. This feels really repetitive, but the stuff that was good was still great. And the 5th book I'm reading right now is freaking fantastic.
Wow.
It's just...
So is in each book, or is it like a new scenario that he's going through some kind of, not dungeon, but some version of a game?
Yeah. They keep they've got a certain amount of time on each level, and then they have to go downstairs to get to the next level. And the level above collapses, so if you don't make it, you're squished.
Oh, okay.
And then that new level, you have to figure out what's going on and how things have to be done. And
Is this cat magical in every level?
yeah, cat's pretty annoying at times, just like a cat, and then totally awesome and adorable at other times. So it's like, yeah, Matt owns a cat, probably a lot of cats, but the scenarios are just fun and ridiculous, and the play from stuff that happens in like, they also go on like TV interview shows, and there's a top 10 count for the most watched, most followed dungeon crawlers. And they tie stuff from the first book, comes back up in the 5th book at times, and it doesn't feel like, oh, okay, this makes sense. And maybe it's because I'm just reading them all in a row. I'm having no problem remembering what happened 4 books back. But if you're at all interested in a fun sci-fi fantasy book, highly recommended.
Are they big books? Are they?
They vary, but yeah, they're usually the one. This current one's over 700 pages.
Whoa.
Most of them are 3 to 500, 4 to 500.
And
That's
is he
a
a
big book.
local author?
Yeah.
Huh.
Apparently, years ago, he was selling these at Crypticon Seattle's booth. I'm like, fuck, man, I wish I would have bought one of those, man. I was looking up, going, I wonder what it is, because he self-published for a couple years, and then Ace picked him up. And so he's got like
a back catalog.
Yeah, books that are exclusive to his Kickstarter. So that version of the books now, you can say like $500 and stuff on eBay. So he's doing all right. But
Dungencrawler Carl. What's the author's name again?
Matt Dimian.
Oh, Dinny? Okay.
Dinniman?
Dinniman. That's what I thought.
Dinniman.
Okay, cool. Well, then the other movie I just watched last night, it's brand new on Shudder, and it is called Mother of Flies.
Oh, the new Smith.
Adams. But nice try.
Smith.
The new Smith family movie. Yeah.
They live next door to the Adams.
That's right.
They use the same people.
This is, if you're not familiar with the Adams family, 1D. They are a family of 4. 2 daughters and a husband and wife, or mother and father, and they make horror movies. And
They're really great people.
yeah, and they're low budget films, but some of them are really quite good. And they're not no budget films; they're just low budget films. So whoever you're not seeing acting on screen is generally holding the camera. Yeah. And they do their own music. They do everything. They have one guy who comes in and does special effects. That's now, somebody that they're like, we brought this guy into the family, basically. But they're also like, if he shows up on a day when we're not shooting effects, he ends up holding the camera. So, it's amazing to watch. Like, if you go on the IMDb, you see cast and crew, but then you can hit that button that says all cast and crew, and it's just their foreign.
It doesn't really change.
Yeah, it's hilarious. And so this one, Mother of Flies, is about a young girl who has cancer, and she's young. She's college age, maybe. Yeah. And she has tried everything, and she has decided to, as a last gasp, go to this woman in the woods who is a witch. And the witch has told her, yeah, I can get rid of this, and I'll do it for free. So, as we know, there's always a cost for this stuff. This movie is pretty good. The acting was a little rougher than the last couple. They did one that was like a traveling carnival show that was like a much bigger scope. I was like, wow, they put some money into this. And I didn't like that one so much, but I thought that the acting was really strong in it. I was like, boy, they have made, another step up. Yeah. But I didn't like the movie as much. I like this one a little better, but still not as much as I loved Hellbender. I thought that was just a really solid movie by these guys. Basically a Dark Phoenix story about a young girl who realizes she's been lied to her life, and she is coming into her own witchy powers now. And it's really good. Anyhow, these people are really neat. If you get a chance, are they going to be at Crypticon?
I was going to say, they a couple years ago at Crypticon Seattle, they did their first convention.
That's
with
right.
us 2 years ago. I haven't heard anything yet for this year, but they've done 2 years in a row, so it might be a blip off. I hope not, because they have so much fun. Yeah. And they are really great. They are really just a family that makes movies that happens to be talented enough
Do
to
these
get
kids
them out.
go to school? Like, did they just are their parents like, no, we will have you home and educate you here through the light of cinema?
I believe, I mean, like high school and stuff, I'm pretty sure they did that, because I thought I read things about them being shot on night and weekends for one of their early ones. But I don't know about college.
Well, I can answer that because the oldest daughter actually had to come back from college to shoot this movie.
Nice.
So, and one of the questions the interviewer was asking her was, so what's it like? Because I assume in your high school, you guys were kind of a big deal. You're out making movies and all this stuff. And then you go to a big city university. And she was like, yeah, it's completely different. But she goes, but we were never acting like it was super cool anyway. They do seem very, very down to earth.
Yes.
So, and a little hippie-ish. you
Sure.
know.
Yeah, that sounds.
That's why you do the, get
About
the
right.
hippie, get the witch, you know, kind of
So-
melds together.
For somebody who's never seen any of these movies by them, would you recommend Hellbender as like the one to go for, or what would you say is a recommend for?
I think so because I like that one so much. I like that story so much. But that one that was the traveling carnival, like
Can't think of the name of it
something
either.
about the devil.
Yeah, I had the same reaction to it you did. I was kind of like, oh. You know, it's
It
like-
looks cool. It looks more professional. The acting looks better. I didn't think it was as good a movie. So, but everything is available on Shudder.
Yeah.
So you just go up and look up all their movies and see the ratings and pick one.
Well, yes, for those who have lots of time, you can just watch them all back to back.
Oh, they do Hellbender.
Anyway.
Some of us are watching Brave 5 times a day.
Hey, it's
so-
new.
Yeah,
I
you've gotten away
know.
from Frozen?
Merida, yeah. She's like in the Scottish songs now.
She picking up an accent?
No, but she can't say Brave or Merida, so you kind of have to guess when she wants to watch it. There's sort of a, and you're like, oh, the child wants something. Is it milk? No. You just hover over the screenshot going, is
this fun?
And you press play and she's like,
No,
and you're like,
wow.
"Oh, whoops, back.
Wow.
Different one. Yes, we've entered toddlerdom. That being said, though, last night I got to go out and watch 28 days later, or 28 years later, The Bone Temple. Wow, that was a hell of a movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I
It
definitely
looks pretty
recommend it.
crazy.
I could not figure out from the trailer what the hell I was going to see, and I'm kind of glad for that. I think that it's sort of better to go in just sort of knowing the previous movie and going, I don't know where the fuck they're going to go with these Jimmy guys and this Spike Kid, what's going to happen. And from the posters and the trailer, you do know that of course they're going to go back to the Bone Temple with Ian, the doctor guy, but it's fun. It gave me a few jump scares. There's some fucking gross shit in that movie. I was like, I don't know if I have the stomach for horror movies anymore. I was just like, literally was just covering my eyes and averting complete. I was like, I can't this is too much. And there was one jump scare that got me really bad, and I got really mad after because I was like, fucking jump scares piss me off every goddamn time. But yeah, I would highly recommend it and say check it out, ideally in the movie theater if you can, but if you can't, it's a solid film. So I think I liked it more than the previous one, but I think that they work very well together considering they're directed by different people.
And this is the second in the trilogy, right?
Yes.
Okay. Does it end on another cliffhanger?
No, it's not. Well, yes and no. It's a continuation. You can see how okay, we're gonna move on into a new part of a story, but you're not going, uh-oh, is our heroes gonna make it? I don't know, because you kind of finish up.
Didn't get out of the
that
cock-a-doodle
chapter.
car.
Yeah. No, it's interesting. It goes somewhere where you're like, I wonder how this is all going to tie together. So
28 years later, Bone Temple. I know you're looking forward to this.
Yeah, I'm sure you're not.
I don't think I'm going to bother either.
really,
I just did not like that last one.
do you like metal music?
Yeah.
You should see this one. Yeah, I'm not even fucking kidding. You're gonna like it.
Wait
gonna
a
like
second.
it.
Sounds on the kind of metal music, too.
Well, I can't tell you that.
Yeah, see, that's...
I'm not going to give you any. First of all, I know nothing
Well, its
about metal.
features.
Second of all,
Maybe Holitz has seen it.
Well, wait a second. It has to take place 28 years after a zombie, so the music has to be very different than what we are actually getting 28 years later, right?
I don't know. These future things they always know, no matter how far in the future a movie is, they always know about whatever pop culture is going on in the decade the movie was made.
Fine, keep your secrets.
I'm just going to sit here with my water bottle. You know nothing. You can either see the movie or not. That's up to you, Kelly.
Okay.
Alrighty then. Okay, well, mine was different from that, sort of. Well, yeah. Presence. Steven Soderbergh's film from
Yes. Yeah. Kelly, have you
2024.
seen that one? 'Cause
I haven't. I'm not the Soderbergh fan that you guys are, I think.
I don't know if I'm a fan, but he exists.
He's done some great films, but then he went and he's become very experimental
Yes.
since then. And this is another one of these.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
And it took me, I saw nothing about it. I saw Presence with Soderbergh. Okay, I'll watch it. And it has a really neat experiment going on in the film. And it's not a giveaway because it happens right from the beginning. I'm like, this is I see what they're doing here. It's shot from the POV of the ghost.
Yeah.
And for a good chunk of the film, this is fun and interesting. And then the story just kind of gets a little long. And I'm like, okay. And I thought the ending was good. Most of the beginning was good, but there's definitely a middle where it's like, oh, okay, this would have been a really good 40-minute long short or something.
Yeah.
There's some weird padding going on to make it.
You do get, because there's that claustrophobia, and some people do, like Hitchcock does great when you're stuck in one place. But some people are like, okay, well, I'm in a closet, and it's the same people. What has changed to make this continue to be interesting? And I think the answer in that film is not a lot.
Right, exactly.
It's more the same.
Yeah, it's not that much of a, I don't know, it didn't feel like at least it didn't turn into a Blumhouse movie where suddenly by the end the
Oh, God, yeah.
ghost is throwing everybody out the windows and the house explodes.
Yeah.
But it also didn't ratchet up the creep factor enough to build to a really great ending. But I thought it ended fine. And it was interesting to watch for quite a while.
Yeah. I think I had the same experience. I felt like it was a pretty fun, interesting ride. There was a few moments where I was like, okay, fine.
Some of the relationships.
What is the story that is happening in the real world? Is it a drama? Is it a mystery?
It's a family drama.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's the ghost kind of is living in the teenage daughter's room. So
that seems to be the core, but it goes everywhere.
It does go everywhere. You're kind of getting the story through her a bit more. Like she's just the black sheep of the family. Like she's got depression. She's a depressed teenager.
Yeah, and mom and dad are having a rough time. I mean, it's a stronger family dynamic probably would have helped the movie, but it is kind of
mom.
yeah,
she was a piece of crap.
She was the part of the problem. It's Lucy Liu too.
Yeah, Lucy Liu. You just were like, you are an intolerable character, and I don't care about you at all. I need to stop looking at your face.
Almost. I felt like every decision you want to make about your daughter is wrong.
I know.
And the fact that you won't let your husband input at all.
Yeah.
Is like.
It was weird. It was way too one-dimensional.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, if you're a Soderbergh fan like we are, you'll probably get something out of it. But it's not one that's like, I'd go, Kelly, I know you've hated his last 4 movies.
Yeah.
This one, it's not that.
No.
Loved the first couple, though.
Oh, man, he did some phenomenal.
But that's because he was we were coming off the Tarantino copycats and stuff like that. He was, like a little cooler Tarantino.
Yeah.
And I hate that about myself too, because, it's the curse of the artist. The artist wants to continue growing. The fan wants the artist to continue being the thing that they love. So I am falling into the bad side of this.
Well, it's tough because sometimes you get burned, John Carpenter. So
oh, man.
it can be really tough when you love somebody, you love their work, and all of a sudden they divert for whatever reason. And it's like, I don't
instead of being an interesting diversion. Well, I mean, and Carpenter's an interesting example because he did diversity in his filmmaking styles. I mean, it's not like he made Halloween 10 times and we loved all 10 of those. He made, wow. But once he slipped, it's like,
And it's not just Carpenter. I mean, like, I feel that way about Spielberg too. As soon as I saw Bridge of Spies, I was like, what the fuck is this? This is one of the worst movies I've seen, sir. Like, really, I mean, it's not, but it's just, I'm
Relative to.
nervous every time I see a movie with his name on it. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, Ready
if
Player
this is
One
gonna
was
be- Oh, it was
just-
fucking awful.
Garbage.
Fucking awful.
I didn't like the Fablemans. Oh.
Yeah. I thought that was a little more interesting, but yeah, it was not a. I will never watch that movie again.
No. Well, my problem with the Fablemans was I was like, oh, here we go. This is getting good. And then the credits rolled. And I'm like, oh. I thought we had a half an hour left.
That is true. Yes.
And we got a new one coming out here, so really soon.
Yeah.
The Feeblemans.
The Fieble.
Meet the Fableman.
Okay. If I can have a strange divergent here for just a second. Deep cut, if you're a Peter Jackson fan, there's a Peter Jackson segment where he was on one of the Muppet shows that ties Meet the Feebles into the world of the Muppets.
What?
Where 2 or 3 of the Muppets visited the Feebles and they're like, ugh.
And of course, it was Dr. Teeth and like Ralph who were like, you know, oh, remember when we met the Feebles?
Oh my God. Oh, I have missed this. Wow.
What was that show? Was that last Muppet show? Muppets Tonight?
I think it was. Yeah, I think it was that one. Because that was, honestly, a really good show. Really smartly written. But it's like everybody that watched the Muppets only as kids and never revisited forgot that the Muppets were also written for adults. Very much so. If you go watch the original Muppet show. So that translated, and then they all got upset because they thought it was just, a whole lot of people got upset because they thought it was just going to be a kid's show. It's like, it's not just a kid's show, like Kermit making bacon jokes about Miss Piggy and stuff like that. So it's not just for little kids.
Huh. Well, okay. Why don't we take a little break? I will cough all the coughs I've been holding in.
Excellent.
And then when we come back, we are continuing our one movie breakdown, and it's my movie.
Yay!
All right. Be right back.
From the Black Hole Collection comes Rio Control Vincent.
A superior species of intelligence. Vincent, I'm sending you on a dangerous mission. Out of the frying pan into the fire.
Batteries not included. When you talk in here,
Proceed to kitchen.
it sounds as if Vincent is talking.
When Vincent talks, everyone listens. Why, Vincent? Nothing ventured, nothing gained.
And when danger threatens,
Sound the alarm! When you have a job done, call a robot. Well done, Vincent.
Radio Control Vincent. Assembly required. By Mego.
We have returned. I know that there was a break here when you guys did your solo stuff, but we had decided we were each going to then, after the Frozen epic episode, we were each going to pick a movie that we wanted everybody to watch so that we could talk about it. And this was my pick. We are talking today about 1979's The Black Hole.
There is an inexorable force in the cosmos where time and space converge. A place beyond man's vision, but not his reach. It is the most mysterious and awesome point in the universe, where the here and now may be forever.
On my ship, you ask.
It is unavoidable, moving through space, swallowing everything in its path, radio waves, light.
Are you programmed to speak?
Even planets and stars. Go, go.
Fire thrusters.
madman is headed straight for the black hole. What'll we do? We wait. We got you.
Hurry.
It's all right. It's all right. It's okay.
Now,
Gravity's at maximum, Dan.
my God, I think it's got us. Man is about to enter
We got a break here too.
the black hole. A journey that begins where everything ends.
Yes, sir.
A Disney film. This was a first time watch for you, right,
Yes,
Vanessa?
it was. I'd never seen this. I thought I knew what this movie was. I was wrong.
Yeah, I think so.
And Eric, I know you saw this. Did you see this in the theater?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Long, long ago.
Yes. Oh my God. Almost 50 years ago now. Directed by Gary Nelson, who was the director of Freaky Friday. And written by Jerry Day, who was a TV writer, lots of kids stuff, and Jeb Rosebook, who was also a TV writer. These guys just did stuff, mostly Wonderful World of Disney episodes and things like this. This is still Disney trying to figure out who they are in the 70s, going into the 80s. It stars Robert Forster, who was in Alligator, Vigilante, Jackie Brown, Mulholland Drive, and The Wolf of Snow Hollow, one of my favorite movies of 2020.
It was so good.
And his last film. Maximilian Schell is in this. He was in Judgment at Nuremberg, A Bridge Too Far, The Odessa File, and The Diary of Anne Frank. Anthony Perkins, who was in Psycho 1 through 4, Murder on the Orient Express, Pretty Poison, and The Edge of Sanity. Have you guys seen Edge of Sanity with Anthony Perkins? No. Kind of a cool late 80s psycho type film where he just goes way over the top. Ernest Borgnine is in this. He was in
But of course, it's a 70s movie.
Poseidon Adventure, The Dirty Dozen, Ice Station Zebra, The Wild Bunch, Willard, and Escape from New York. And Yvette Mimieux, who's in The Time Machine, Where the Boys Are, and Devil Dog, Hound of Hell. And then Joseph Bottoms, who was in Cloud Dancer and King of the Mountain. It also has the voices of Roddy McDowall and Slim Pickens. This is a stacked cast. You would expect this movie to be great.
Yeah.
First thing first, I remember after I started watching this again, texting Vanessa and saying, hey, I forgot all about the fact that this has just an overture for like 5 minutes with nothing going on.
That
So
was my
please
first
don't.
question. I was like, is it broken? Why is it black
No image. What is
forever?
I remember Star Trek: The Motion Picture did the same thing, but they had like a star field going
Yes.
on, and you were like, oh, something is happening. This, I did the same thing. I was like, oh, fuck, did my TV finally go out?
It's the black hole.
We're in it. We're in it right now. Very weird.
Yeah, that used to be a thing. Overtures in film.
Is it like while you're getting popcorn? Like, what are you supposed to be doing during
It's
this?
just to kind of showcase the music. So the overture has a little bit of each piece of music in it, and it was just something happened, just like intermissions and shit like that. So this was, it turns out, next to Star Trek: The Motion Picture, the last of the films that had overtures at the beginning. I always remember them being there for like musicals, like My Fair Lady has an overture and shit like that, the Guys and Dolls. Ted Dastic Jr., who is a friend of ours and listens to the show and all this stuff, he decided to watch this based on knowing we were going to watch it. And he just trashed the movie. And I was like, oh, how dare.
Ted.
He hates
We need
the
to have
music.
a talk, Ted.
I actually think the music is really good. I think what he really hates is how kind of haphazardly the music is thrown in. Like the music was made, but not necessarily for a particular scene. And so they were just like,
Or a film.
adventure music in this section here.
It is very tonally interesting.
Yeah. The score is by John Barry. And I think that opening theme is really cool and almost like doom metal. That da da da, wah, you know, I was like, wow, this is way cooler than I remember. So it starts off. Already, I was like, God damn it, Ted. I think you're right. 547 days into their trip, in an unspecified future year, the spacecraft USS Palomino has nearly completed its mission exploring deep space. Okay, so deep space ain't what it used to be, you guys. I did a little research here. They were out there for 18 months and are already returning home. You might be able to reach Mars or Jupiter unless they're somehow traveling at light speed, but they are clearly not. So in other words, this black hole that they find is in our galaxy.
It's like just past the moon somewhere.
It becomes one of these story elements that you're like, oh no. Why did they have to tell us how long they had been out in deep space?
Yep.
So anyhow, the crew consists of Captain Dan Holland, his first officer, Charlie Pizer, a journalist, Harry Booth, an ESP-sensitive scientist, Kate McRae, and the expedition's civilian leader, Dr. Alex Durant. Also a diminutive floating robot, Vincent, which stands for Vital Information Necessary Centralized.
Awful. Absolutely awful. I was like, wait, what? No one thought this through.
So I love the idea, though, and I'm sure, 79, this is probably happening in Isaac Asimov's books 20 years earlier. But I love the idea that they have an ESP-sensitive scientist who has a psychic link with a robot.
I was so confused. I was like, wait, she's ESPing the robot? Is the robot got a human brain in it?
Exactly right. I was like, oh, this is such a cool idea.
And she doesn't talk to any actual people with her ESP till almost the end of the film. So I was like, is she got like a link only with the robot? Like, what is happening?
Wired.
Definitely an idea that was tossed out and they were all like, yes. Yeah. What do we do with this?
Like, let's not think too hard. It's for kids.
When I get into the writing, the rewrite, and all this stuff, you're going to realize this was just haphazard, slapped together.
I never would have guessed.
So as it's returning to Earth, the Palomino discovers a black hole with the long-lost and apparently abandoned USS Cygnus nearby, the same ship that McRae's father was aboard when it vanished 20 years prior. This ship is gigantic, and it makes me then wonder how big is the Palomino, and how had they spent 18 months on this ship that looks like it just has a bridge?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a weirdly designed ship. It's cool looking, but it looks like it would, if any atmosphere came in presence, it would just crush because it's all windows.
Yeah, oh, sure. I was less worried about that than the ship they come across because I was like, this is just like a barge. It's so
No, that's what I meant. That is the design of the big ship.
Yeah, the big ship is so weird. I was like, how does this get into space? Like, how does this do anything?
Oh, it's built in space. Come on now.
Very interesting.
I think the design of it is fucking amazing.
It's really cool.
Basically a haunted castle in space.
It is cool looking. It's just like
I just haven't seen much
practicality.
like that in sci-fi before. Where it's like, wow, okay, this is a big object.
Well, you want to see space, so you got windows everywhere.
True. This is long mission.
So they decide to investigate, and they find that there is this mysterious null gravity field surrounding the Cygnus that is allowing it to sit right on the edge of this black hole without being sucked in. They, of course, try to get closer and immediately start getting sucked in, and their ship is damaged by the intense gravity, and so they have to emergency dock with the Cygnus. So when they come across this, it looks like an abandoned ship. But as soon as they make it clear that they're going to land on the ship, suddenly all the lights come on in this place. And you're right. I mean, it's all interior lights, so everything is just a window. But this is the future.
That's right.
The future has windows.
Space glass is
Space
way tougher.
Way stronger than Gorilla Glass.
So from here, the story kind of turns into a space 20,000 leagues under the sea. Because we encounter Dr. Hans Reinhardt, who is one of Earth's most brilliant scientists, according to Durant. And Reinhardt explains that he has been alone on the Cygnus since it encountered a meteor field and was disabled. He ordered the human crew to return to Earth without him, but McCrae, the ESP girl, her father chose to remain on board and has since died. To replace this crew, he has built an army of faceless, robe-wearing robots, but also, for some reason, an army of regular soldier robots.
Sure. For funsies. So that they can hang out in their robot bar and shoot at the shooting gallery.
Oh, that was such a strange scene.
And like slag each other off.
Not only that, but did you guys watch when, and I was like, how hard would this have been to do? We're jumping ahead, but the star robot, who's all in black while all the other robots are maroon. Yeah. He's like the Black Bart of the shooting gallery, and he shoots, choo, choo, choo. And then instead of spinning his gun on his finger and putting it into a holster, he does this. He just spins, and I was like, you could have made him spin his wrist or anything, but you could have just put a finger hole on one gun so he could spin it. Sure. It is such a, I was like, this was obviously added at the end of, how about we make him spin his gun? And they're like, oh, yeah, Bob, could you spin your wrist and make it look cool? Yeah.
Absolutely bananas. Absolutely crazy.
Yeah. Also on board is this sinister bodyguard robot for no reason, Maximilian, who is this floating maroon devil-looking robot. And it's like, okay, so everybody is left. You build like the creepiest robot in the world to be your sidekick. And why? Why did you build drill hands into him?
Yeah.
Eventually,
there's a little
something was going to happen,
later
and he knew.
that you'll probably get to as a storyline. I'm going, well, that makes it make even less sense.
Yes, exactly. Okay. Okay, so the Palomino, they start to become suspicious, the crew of the Palomino, of Reinhardt, and Booth sees a drone robot limping at one point, and they make a big, huge deal of that, and I'm like, well, that actually is the only thing that kind of you could write off. We've seen robots, lose a leg or something, and they would just
adjust.
Yeah. But then Holland witnesses the drone funeral. So the question starts being, are these robots, androids, zombies?
I mean, the minute I was like, oh, they have like a reflective glass face helmet, they're definitely, it probably enslaved people.
Well, it doesn't help that also, this movie costs a lot, but it still looks kind of cheap sometimes. Yeah. And so those drone robots are clearly humans inside them. So
for sure.
Your mind is never going to be fooled.
Yeah.
You're just like, that's a person in costume. I like that Vincent meets a battered earlier model of his type of drone named Bob.
That was pretty funny.
Bio Sanitation Battalion.
Incredible.
Oh my God.
So, bring out the biosanitation battalion.
We got to clean these toilets. Hey, and there's lots of them.
We work hard, so you don't have to.
Oh my God.
Bob explains that the drones are actually what is left of the human crew who mutinied when Reinhardt refused to return to Earth. And McCrae's father was killed during this. The crew was apparently lobotomized and reprogrammed. At this point, it seems like, okay, so he's killed everybody, or he's somehow captured them, and then I don't know.
Yeah, I don't.
How did he do
Maximilian would have
it?
had to been built first, and maybe he terrorizes the crew into going along with this. But you think that a mutiny of as many humans on that, even versus Maximilian, you're like, hey, listen, some of us are going to die, right? Are all of us going to die? We got to jump this thing, and we'll just weigh him down.
Just jump from the
Right.
back and lay him down.
Because there's so many of them. But I mean, I guess if he's the doctor, maybe each of them had to do their like annual, physical. And each time he just quickly, they're all in a line. And he's just, everyone's coming in,
Get
not
on
coming
this
out.
machine. It's going to take you around.
Yeah,
You'll be
they do
fine.
You're just getting
actually.
shot.
They do actually show us how the lobotomy goes. I mean, it's like put on this Jiffy Pop helmet, and
Tinfoil. It'll be great.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's a big difference from point A to D there. There's points missing.
I do want to point out we're talking about human lobotomy on mass scale into zombies, and it is still a children's movie.
well, is it a
Sort
children's
of.
movie?
It's their first PG film. I don't
Yeah,
know,
it was
is
the
that their
first PG
Okay.
film. I have here in my notes here the shooting gallery. So the robots go in, we see these guys, the soldiers shooting. Not only are the regular soldiers not very good, and Star is blasting away at everything. Why is Vincent, a scientific robot, a better sharpshooter than the Star robot?
And the sanitation robot.
Yeah.
That's why they hate the sanitation robot, because he outshot them. And I was like, oh, they all have guns. they all have guns.
Yeah.
And they're all good, but the ones that don't look like people are much better. So I guess as soon as you give them 4 limbs that they have to deal with, everything gets a little bit shitty.
It's the whole
Did you
AI
notice
thing.
that? So a lot of the shots, there's a lot of camera trickery going on in this. So a lot of the shots of the robot soldiers, the arms are too thin to have people in them. So you're like, okay, that is either a mannequin or a Disney, what do you call it? Robot.
Animatronic.
Yeah, there you go. So I was like, okay, this is interesting. But then there is a couple of times when one of the robots has to do something else. I was like, that's a much bigger arm on that robot. Yeah, that robot has been working out.
More
So-
hydraulics, better shooting.
So anyway, Vincent uses telepathy to tell McCrae what he's discovered. And after she informs Durant, he removes one of the drone's faceplate and reveals the zombie-like face of the crew member. Trying to figure out what is left in their head, because it seems like a funeral would be something that would
There'd be
not
like an
be.
emotional space in order to have a funeral. You'd have to still have, they'd have to care about something. And it seems like they're drones.
Yeah, or drones is probably a good word for it too. Are they just integrated with whatever?
At one point, Holland walks, when he finds that drone funeral, he's walking through the personal spaces of the drones, and they still have a lot of personal effects there.
Yeah, they got
I
like
think.
pictures and stuff. I wasn't sure if they were still sleeping in there. Or
I
if they're
wasn't either.
just their old room.
That's what I was trying to figure out is, okay, why is this scene here? To make me think that they are human, or just to show that there were humans? We already
the
know there were
tragedy.
humans.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
It was, and I don't know. It feels like such a, I mean, nothing makes sense. But like, why would you take the whole crew and make them into drones? Because then you have to feed them, you have to dress them, you have like all the trimmings around it. You have to allow them to go to the bathroom, I assume, because hence Bob. Like, there's like so much you have to do to maintain your fleet of guys. You're just sitting there outside the black hole. Like, what do you need all these dudes for?
This really requires a prequel book or something to show us what happened on there and how much. Because you're right, we see the garden, which is huge because it has to be. So he has to feed them. which means they're creating waste.
Yes.
So there is all of these
At that
extra.
point, you're like, they're probably showering. They're probably, like.
Why can't my robots who can't fucking hit the broadside of a barn, why don't I have them at the desks instead?
Yeah. It seems like there's no benefit. Like, they're probably more intelligent than your drone, than your, like, zombie-ified guys.
Yeah. It is a pretty...
Because they're not a lot of help near the end.
It is a pretty scary moment when they reveal that face. That is the face of the director.
Oh.
Yeah. I was like, I love these kind of cameos where the director's like, I'm going to put myself in the movie, and it's the one other human. And he's not an attractive man. Here's what I love. We've watched Durant, who is the scientist, carry around this notebook for the entire movie, and it finally pays off because it blocks the viewer from seeing too much gore when he holds it up and Maximilian zips through it, okay? Sure. So the computers in the Palomino can literally project holograms into the air. They're matching ships to try and figure out what the sickness is at first and everything. This guy, a brilliant scientist, carries around a pen and a very thick pad of paper.
Oh, yeah.
He's always got nothing beats handwriting.
They make big scenes. Like when he's leaving, he will grab this thing. And I was like, oh, this is the first time I've noticed this. They're really trying to justify him holding this up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I will say, when I was a kid, that scene where he drills into the guy and he's like, ugh, freaked me the fuck out, man.
I don't know about you, but were you surprised that how non-gory it was this time? Because I remember the same thing.
So much more violent in my head. It's like, oh, well, I can get while I was,
violence is rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of I can see that being really, really tough as a kid to watch.
Well, I was 10 and I saw this in the theater with just my friends, not a parent or anything like that. But I can't imagine you bringing your, say, 7-year-old to this film and sit there going, what the fuck was I thinking? Gonna have to have a lot of talks about this movie.
Let's go get ice cream.
Disney. Oh shit.
You know what? This movie's boring.
Disney had a rough time period there in the late 70s, early 80s.
No kidding.
So there is this great scene that happens that is like this missed moment, and I find out later in my research that it's ad-libbed. And I'm like, it's so much better than anything else that's going on, because Maximilian grabs the girl, or not Maximilian, Reinhardt grabs the girl, and he says, save me. Maximilian is running the ship. And then she calls him on his bluff, and he immediately goes, Well, in the research, I find out he ad-libs that. And they left it in, but I'm like, the problem with leaving this ad-lib in is it's way better than the story you guys already have.
Yeah, that's good. Let's continue with this.
I would have loved to have seen what that actually was. Yeah. Let's see. So Reinhardt orders his robots to lobotomize McRae, the ESP girl. But just as the process begins, she is rescued by Holland, Vincent, and Bob. Harry Booth, who is Ernest Borgnine, tries to escape alone in the Palomino, but it looks like he's shot down.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
So I was confused by this too, because I was like, okay, wait, so he got injured, but then it's like, oh, he was faking it.
He was faking it because he's a coward all of a sudden.
He's been a coward this whole time apparently, and he becomes such a piece of shit.
No indication of that.
No. There's no lead up to it.
Selfishness.
In fact, he's like, listen, we'll take over the ship. We'll grab Reinhardt and we'll take the ship home. We'll be heroes. So then when he does his cowardly turn, I was so like,
weird.
This is also a rewrite.
Yeah, it was so weird. I was like, wait, was he like this whole time? I was like, I must have just not been paying attention, because he's the cowardly dude who runs off with the ship and leaves all of our heroes stranded by leaving a second too early.
Yeah. He is a reporter. So he's on the ship as a reporter. After 18 months, none of this would have come out earlier, and the crew would be like, hey, listen, don't leave him alone with the ship.
Yeah, totally.
This fucker is...
Totally. And how does a reporter know how to operate the ship on that level too?
Run it on his own.
All right.
Yeah. So anyhow, he ends up crashing it into the Cygnus, and then a meteor storm happens, which I fucking love this meteor storm, which looks like a bunch of red blood cells attacking the ship.
Incredible effect.
Rough green screens.
So that stresses out the anti-gravity generator, and it quickly starts to blow apart in the black hole's gravitational forces. Reinhardt and the Palomino survivors separately plan their escape in the probe ship used to study the black hole. Reinhardt is ordering Maximilian to prepare the ship for launch, while the crew of the Palomino is also running to it. So
Everybody wants to get off the big ship.
yeah. So then a big, huge view screen topples on top of Reinhardt. And
This is why you gotta mount your flat screen properly. Because this be warned to all.
Gravity gets really intense.
traps him, and then he asks Maximilian for help, and all of a sudden this robot is like, fuck you. I heard what you said to that girl.
Maximilian, I was like, is he like fully emotionally sentient? And like, because then does he try to escape? Am I right? Like he escapes on his...
I don't think he's trying to escape. I think he's trying to kill the rest of the crew.
Oh, I thought he was like, fuck you, I'm going to get on this probe ship and peace out.
Oh, I don't think
That
I
was the
caught.
way I
That'd
read
be
it.
interesting. Could be.
Because I was like, that's weird. I guess he was like, out of my way, I'm going to get out of here. Like,
See ya.
I do know that he fatally shoots Bob.
oh, yeah.
And we get a
Horrible, so sad.
a death scene of a robot, and the only person to be there for that death scene is the other robot.
Vincent.
It's so sad.
It's wildly inappropriate for a kids movie, just like everything in it. Vincent, of course, ends up avenging him by drilling into Maximilian's armor and disabling his system, and then sending him hurtling into the black hole. Everybody is, I mean, the ship's integrity has been breached, and so the winds are whipping through and everything. I love how the shot of the garden just suddenly turning into ice, and then everything ripping out of the ground and falling.
I have so many questions science related to that scene, but maybe I shouldn't ask them.
Gotta be tough. It's tough to get an answer out of the two of us.
Yeah.
I mean, people and then space, right? Pure exposure to space, but they're fine. Just want to gone into space, but they're like, we're all good. We're just going to trudge through this garden. Just hold on, guys. It's fine.
This is 1979. We didn't know much about space.
It's cold and you can't breathe in it? Just curious. Okay.
Well, the crew makes it to the probe ship, and they're like, get us out of here. And then they realize, oh, it's been pre-programmed to go directly into the black hole anyway. So they're like, well, put on your seatbelt.
Hold on tight.
Yeah. And then we get to the only reason to really watch this movie.
Yeah.
Which is within the black hole, the Cygnus, of course, just completely falls apart. Reinhardt and Maximilian merge above a burning, hellish landscape populated by dark-robed specters, which are the Cygnus drones. Meanwhile, the probe ship, and that hell scene is scary.
It's weird because they kind of seem like aliens too. I mean, they are but they also, I don't know. I was like, are these aliens?
Oh, in the robes?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was very weird because I was like, is it because they look like they're the drones, but they also looked like they were something totally else.
Well, it could have been because this ending was like, well, nobody knows.
2001 had that one scene. Let's crank it up to a weirdness.
It does feel a little 2001-ish. The probe ship then gets beckoned by what could only be described as an angel, I suppose, and goes through this cathedral glass and to heaven? No, to a different galaxy.
A different planet somewhere, hopefully.
More than 18 months away?
That can survive, that has oxygen and food and water.
So okay. So when they go into the black hole, are they basically going into heaven and hell, or are they actually going to like a hellish planet and like a heavenly planet? Or
I don't think that they know. Now, right at the beginning, when they first see the black hole, I think it's Ernest who says, It looks like something right out of Dante's Inferno. So there's a big, huge
Because it feels like a
clue right at the
painting.
beginning.
Yeah, that hell scene looks directly out of some of those paintings of the time.
Gustave Doré or something like that. You know, it's very cool. And we get that shot of Maximilian floating there like the devil, and then we see Reinhardt's eyes and his
Fucking
things.
face.
So they've somehow,
horrific. He fucking merged into like his own horrific robot.
and he doesn't look happy about it. He looks very scared.
They both look pretty, and he's standing on top. Like, I mean, how did he get floating in space with a different guy to suddenly? I mean, it seems like he just went into straight up into hell. Because how are all the other guys there? And, you know.
Yeah, well, that's just it. We don't know. You know, we really don't know what a black hole is going to do. So maybe it's the entrance to hell, heaven and hell. So then our ship just goes shooting towards a planet that starts having a sunrise, and we're all like, well,
here we are.
This is an ending.
I hope it's good. I was shocked, I have to admit, when they were like, oh, well, we're going in. I was like, wait, what? I mean, like, I figured somebody was going in the hole. I didn't think our, like, main crew was going. And then they start stretching, and then they're, like, ideas and thoughts are bouncing around in there. And I was like, we are in some psychedelic shit now.
I have some notes here on, and I'll get to it on the novelization. Alan Dean Foster, who wrote the novelization for this and Star Wars and 1,000 other movies, he was given the script with no ending. And an idea. And they said, well, this is what we think is going to happen. Have at it. And so his is even more nightmarish because the crew of the Palomino, then they all merge into one entity with the same mind.
Shit.
And they are now on the other side of the black hole as this pure thought entity. And what will happen next? And it's just like, this is fucking terrifying.
That's uncomfortable.
Not what you want for your heroes to end up.
Yeah. Well, yes or no? Did you like it?
I think tonally it was really tough because I like a lot of the ideas behind it. I loved the like scale of the weird ship, and like even though the characters felt a little hokey and strange and like ill thought / ill written, the actual set design, the actual like beats were working really well, and the ending was fucking bonkers. But the fact that you keep going into this like children's adventure movie music was tough, because you're like dun 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 dun. And when they're going around trying to like escape the robots, like, I mean, there's moments where it feels like purely you can see the Star Wars maybe taking from them. I don't know, but like you see the like, okay, we're going around, guys. This is an adventure. We're like out in space, and it's just a fun, you know, Buck Rogers crew. And then all of a sudden you're like, but there are people. There are people who have been enslaved and lobotomized, and now she's like in a silver popcorn thing about to get fucked, and now we're in hell. The tone is just so. I can't say that I think it's a good movie, because I don't think it is, but I do think, I'm glad that I watched it. And like I said, I thought it was like a 1980s, like there's a kid in a spaceship going into a black hole. I did not know that it was this. So from the get-go, I was like, what? Oh, what?
What about you?
I still enjoy it. I think it's fun. It's got, you know, the ridiculous little moments, the big ridiculous moments, and the ridiculous little moments like, let's get him in a crossfire. It's like, that's not actually what a crossfire is, guys. You just put yourself in the middle of them. And little things like that.
Actually means we're in the crossfire. I should have thought this out better.
Exactly. But yeah, the music, especially in that end segment when they're the hero music, I was like, this is weird.
Yeah.
It's very, well, it's very Disney-esque.
I feel like they had to make a choice, and they didn't.
They went for the more jovial action adventure as opposed to the dark sci-fi adventure.
They did both.
Yeah.
They just did.
If you look at Disney during this time, there's a lot of PG family films. This was supposed to be a family film, not a kid's film. Yeah. A film that you know your geeky family would all enjoy. You like Star Wars? Well, you're gonna love this. So, okay, I got some notes here. This was not a response to Star Wars, at least not at first. This started out as a disaster film in space. The writing began in 1974. It was titled back then Space Station 1. And it was about a space research station on the edge of a black hole, which is a pretty cool idea. But after bringing in several writers, they just couldn't nail the story down, and it was shelved until the end of 75. That's when they brought in the director of Escape to Witch Mountain, and he and his writers attempted to bring it back to life. But by then, the disaster genre was pretty much burned out. Nobody was caring about it. So in February of 77, Jeb Rosebrook was included to restructure the story, in which the script was then changed to focus on a small core group of astronauts. They really wanted to focus on the black hole now, which was a phenomenon that had been in growing discussion within the scientific community. So this was the best part. I read that Disney actually brought in astrophysicists and even Carl Sagan as a consultant.
That's so good.
But if that's true, they clearly threw out all of the notes.
Listen to
They're like,
There's nothing scientific
idea,
about
guys.
this. Yeah. And then, of course, Star Wars hits in summer of 77, and it is such a phenomenon that Disney decides the story needs robots, robot soldiers, and laser guns. And so here we are with the very first PG-rated Disney film.
Little did they know one day they would own it. They'd own all of Star Wars. They didn't have to catch up.
Maximilian could take on Darth Vader.
They just had to buy it.
You know, the special effects in this film are sometimes gorgeous and sometimes really bad.
Really shoddy.
Yeah.
Like someone's like, hey, you got a lava lamp back there? Let's just shoot through it.
Yes.
Just heat it up partially.
Like some of the shots, I'm like, when they remastered it, because it looks good.
It does look good.
You think they could, like the green screen, you think they could have like cleared up the glaring green screen outlines that were real prevalent in some of the later scenes?
Well, so they had wanted to rent equipment from ILM, but they weren't able to secure it, so they ended up creating their own computer camera controlling equipment. So this is all proprietary stuff that they were just making and trying out on this film. As usual, there's a number of tie-ins to the movie, so some action figures that Mago had jumped at after turning down the Star Wars franchise.
Sure. Yeah, we'll take it. What do you got?
And of course, if you're a toy fan like I am, really only the robots are worth searching out. They actually look like the robots in the film. The action figures of the people are like, if I were to come across this in a bin, I'd be like, who is this supposed to be?
Did they make a robot of Maximilian? Like an action figure?
Yeah. And then Reaction has put out new versions of them that are really, really solid, but also $30 a piece. Yeah. So let's see, I talked about the Ellen Dean Foster stuff. I remember reading that book. So I was 11 when I was 10 or 11 when this came out. I remember reading the book and like reading that ending and going, what happened? I don't understand what happened. And the reason I read the book was because I didn't understand what happened in the movie either. So I was just like, this is not what I thought happened and all that. They also had a few issues of a comic book, which dropped all the endings and just had the crew show up on the other side of a different galaxy and have almost like a, what's the Star Trek mirror image universe? So they would just run into alternate versions of Reinhardt and shit like that. It only lasted like 5 issues. I've got a great review here. Gene Siskel found the film to be dull and claimed it takes much too long to get its less than grand finale.
Oh, Gene.
While he praised the film's special effects, he was critical of the film's cast, claiming they were dead stars in their own right. If actors get paid to express emotions, then the cast in the black hole doesn't even deserve minimum wage. Wow. That sounds like a Rex Reed quote, but way to go, Gene. So here's what was going on with Disney at the time. I thought this was super interesting. Former football player Ron Miller took over as president of Walt Disney Productions. Miller was Disney's son-in-law, had worked at Disney since the 50s, serving as a producer on such movies as Son of Flubber and That Darn Cat. And as described in James B. Stewart's exhaustive book, Disney War, Miller repeatedly clashed with other executives over the company's future. not least Esmond Cardone Walker, who was Disney's CEO at the time. Miller had long wanted to make more adult movies at Disney. Walker hated the idea, arguing that it would tarnish the company's public image. Nevertheless, the release of Star Wars appeared to serve as a tipping point behind the scenes, because by '79, Miller was talking openly about a creative shakeup. Ron Miller then continued pursuing darker projects at Disney as the '80s went on. So he did The Watcher in the Woods, which is gothic horror. American family moving to a British manor house, which plays host to an evil presence. This is something I don't understand. The Black Hole, readily available on Disney. Watcher in the Woods, not. Arguably a much better movie than this. The Black Cauldron, not available on Disney Plus for some reason. So he was also responsible for Tron, Dragon Slayer, The Devil and Max Devlin, Never Cry Wolf, which is just a beautiful, beautiful movie, Condor Man. But by 1984, Miller was ousted and replaced with Michael Eisner and Jeffrey Katzenberg, who were somehow convinced, even though they had just got him out, to release the last two very dark Disney films, which were The Black Cauldron and Return to Oz, which are two very stark and intense films, supposedly for children. I had an interesting time watching this time around, and it was because of Ted Dastick's post where he just fucking hated everything about it. And I was like, am I just looking at this through nostalgia? And of course I was. This was a great time in my life and where I lived and all of that stuff. But I see all the stuff he hates about it. I will also say this. I hope you're listening, Ted. I disagree with Ted's opinion on every film.
Sure.
He is a Star Wars fan who only likes the worst Star Wars movies. So I'm just like, well, I got to also take into consideration this just isn't everybody's cup of tea.
Yeah, definitely. I think as somebody who loves, I grew up reading Heinlein. I just fucking love sci-fi, but it's really got so many interesting elements to it that even though I have zero nostalgia for it, I still can see, I can totally see why you would love this movie. There's a lot to love about it even now, even with all the fucking weirdness, but yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have the action figures back then, but I was getting into building models and everything, and I had Vincent and Maximilian, which I was really bummed because they were not in scale to each other.
Oh, weird.
That was
They're just equal.
Yeah, they were pretty much. I was like, this sucks. I always wanted to get the model of the Cygnus, which I guess they did release, and it's very expensive, huge model. And then, as an adult, I'm like, I'd love to do something like that again. And then do what with it? Put it where?
Hang it from the ceiling.
Yeah, there you go. Hang it.
That's what you need to start doing. Make real estate of this stuff.
There you go.
Yeah, the chicks
Get a
dig
Millennium
that.
Falcon and get a couple other things. The right chicks do.
I was going to say, you just need, I bet that it'd be just fine. I do have a question for you, though.
Yeah.
So did Event Horizon just steal this entire movie?
It's got an interesting kind of correlation.
It feels really similar in many ways.
I don't think the idea I don't think goes for Event Horizon or this film doesn't start with this film. The idea of a shipwrecked ghost ship is not
no, but it's run by a madman who is pulling everyone into hell.
Right. But this is a little bit of a riff on 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea even. And just, I think the idea of coming across a haunted ship, and taking it out of the water, putting it in space. I always wanted to do a Voyage of the Demeter type movie in space, as the spaceship is coming towards Earth or something like that.
It's kind of like the modern argument going on right now with Sinners, where people are saying, it's just From Dusk Till Dawn. It's like, well, it's got several beats of From Dusk Till Dawn, but the story is completely different.
Yeah.
and it just, I find that the weirdest reason to dislike a movie is kind of like, well, what's the name of the blue people movie? That's Avatar. When it came out, everybody's, it's just Dances with Wolves in space. Going, yeah, Dances with Wolves has been done dozens of times beforehand, and movies that change tone have been done dozens of times before, From Dusk Till Dawn. So I always find that a strange, I think it's a cool way. I think it's fun to break down a movie like that, but to then say, well, this movie isn't any good because it's
Oh, no.
so. I didn't think you were doing that. I'm just saying that it's kind of like this other movie that I already
It's just
know.
sort of
It's like,
surprising. Like I could feel like maybe this was a source material, and I don't know if maybe I'm completely wrong with that.
or it could be he could, age range. I think he's probably.
Yeah, good point. And the writer of that was like, well, nobody liked this black hole movie. Nobody remembers that.
Right.
There's no such thing as streaming. So,
Yeah, I mean,
Not do a
it's a
remake.
cool idea. Why don't we just? What if it was this and this and this instead? Like
Leaned into the ending and
yeah.
made it more of the story. Here's a weird question. Did they change the robot's name when they hired the actor to play Dr. Reinhardt? Because his name is Maximilian.
this comes up in IMDb and everything, and I think it's kind of, the truth is probably lost to history because
Just one of those.
it either is they renamed the robot because of Maximilian Schell,
Your name.
or that it's a complete coincidence. I would say that it's probably, there had to have been a conversation, right? Because somebody would be going, it is kind of weird that
It's not Bob and Bob. I mean, this isn't a
Also, it's confusing if you're going to talk about the film and you're like Maximilian.
Yeah.
So,
Shell.
right.
I have everything.
Which is ironic because at the end, Maximilian becomes a Maximilian Schell.
Oh my God. It's all coming together.
Never mind, this movie's brilliant.
They knew exactly what they're fucking doing there, huh? Oh man, everything else I've asked is, or I have it written down here, is stuff we've already discussed, but holy
well covered.
holy hell.
Man. Well talked about.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. I appreciate you guys watching this one with me. There were so many that I wanted to maybe think about, but I was like, I would love to. Have you ever seen The Warriors?
Yes.
Okay, I would love to do a deep dive on The Warriors or
that'd be
The
super fun.
Wanderers, or
Which I have not seen.
But Eric, I feel like, combined, we've seen The Warriors over 100 times, right?
I've seen it once, so maybe I'll bring a fresh.
So I was like, I don't, I want to also bring something to the table that maybe Eric hasn't seen 50 times.
No, it's a really, really solid choice. And it's nice that we all had access to it, assuming you also have Disney as a, yeah.
Well, then, Eric, you've got the next choice.
I've got the next one.
Keeping going with this. So what are we watching?
A totally different style.
Go on. Because so far they've been, I guess the only thing they share is they're both on Disney. So this better be on Disney.
That's right.
Not on Disney. Sorry. Orion Pictures. When it originally came out. One of those keystone films for me is Amadeus.
Well, I know this about you, yeah.
Which we've talked about before a little bit when we did our 5 movies that made us or whatever that was. Mm-hmm. But I know you had a weird experience watching it the first time. I'm very curious, difference, and just curious what you don't think about it.
Yeah, this will be a first-time watch for me.
First time?
Yeah, I'll talk a lot more in depth on this in there, but there's a theatrical which just became available last year.
Yeah.
And for about 10 to 20 years, the director's cut was the only one available.
Yeah.
So this will be the first time I've watched the theatrical cut in a long, long time.
Cool. Okay.
And is there a preference of which version to watch?
Theatrical. I'll talk about it, but I have some real problems with the director's cut.
Okay.
Seems like the director has a lot of problems with it.
It's interesting as you dive in.
Yeah.
Oh, well, he is
fun to talk.
Interesting cat himself. Okay. Well, we're talking Amadeus next week.
Yeah. And we have fan mail.
Oh, yeah.
Fan mail.
It's very, very nice, simple. It's not signed, so I don't know who this is from. It's from 5159, which is so close to having an awesome number. From Athens, Ohio. I wanted to drop you a line and let you know that I'm really digging your show. I'm on episode 16.
Oh, my gosh.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
It's going to shift. There's a lot of changes coming.
There's a lot, yes. I'm not on iTunes or any social media, so I thought I'd reach out to you this way. Hopefully it works. I can't wait for all the great recommendations I'm going to discover as I work my way through the episodes, and you will be hearing this about 2 years from now.
Boy, he hasn't even gotten into COVID yet.
That's right, man. You got a long time to go
There's a
there.
lot going to be happening. Whoa.
So thank you when you
Yeah.
do finally listen. I'm glad
That's
you're
cool.
enjoying it.
Yeah, one day when you hear us talking directly to you, 5159,
That's right.
he'll definitely remember that he sent this note at all.
And you know how he sent us? Most of your podcast will run through Buzzsprout, and part of what they send is a little thing in there that says, I don't think we've talked about it before, but you can click on that and send a message
Message the creator
them.
or whatever.
to us.
Oh, that's cool.
That's so neat.
Well, this is a great
Or
time to then say thanks to everybody who reaches out and comments either this way or on the YouTube channel or on the Strange Eons Radio Talk page, or is out there sharing the post. That's a big deal for us.
yes.
Thank you.
Especially big thanks to anyone who's out there throwing a little coin this way. This is obviously a pirate ship, and it needs money to put some wind in the sails. And you guys doing that allowed us to do this. Look at how clean my table
You
looks.
can see my face for the first time ever, possibly.
It's amazing. I really appreciate everyone who's doing stuff like that. Hey, Vanessa, where else can they reach out to us?
Well, Kelly,
Yeah.
should they so choose and have a mobile or landline device, they can dial 253-237-4266. Leave us a voicemail. You can text us there. But that's a great way to get a hold of us. And tell us what you think of the show. Give us recommendations. Give us your thoughts. What'd you eat for dinner? We'd love to hear from you.
Whatever,
We
yeah.
love talking to our listeners.
If you call and leave us a message about what you ate for dinner, I guarantee it's going to show up on an episode.
Oh, for sure.
yeah.
100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You too can star on Strange Eons
That's
Radio.
right. It takes so little.
Yeah, it does.
All right, gang, how about we get out of here and we come back in 2 short weeks and we are talking about the film Amadeus.
Yeah.
See you next time. Or whatever I used to say.
Thursday.
Transportation and other considerations for Strange Eons Radio produced by Pan Am Airlines. When you think of traveling, think of Pan Am. You can't beat the experience. Guests of Strange Eons Radio stay at Econo Lodge Everett. It's an easy stop on the road, if you know what we mean. Strange Eons Radio is recorded live in front of a studio audience. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider leaving us a positive review on your favorite podcast app. Sit, Ubu, sit.
Back in the day before we, had established that.